Hey guys, what's up? I probably should have gotten dressed before I did this, but I'm going to try to stay covered and respectful for my non-spicy followers. So today is day 32 without a migraine, and I am just celebrating like crazy. I was going at least 2 to 3 days at a time with a migraine, and I was getting one every week or every other week, depending. And sometimes I could get them and kind of get them back under control again in 24 hours, and sometimes I was going like the full 3 days. So these were debilitating, and oftentimes I was in bed and I would do the what they would call like the migraine cocktail. So I would take like the Excedrin, I would take magnesium, I would do like a dehydration drink. I would take Benadryl or some kind of other antihistamine that would kind of calm the system down. And sometimes that would work, and sometimes I would still end up there for 3 days. So here's a few things that I've done. Number one, I downloaded the Leaply app. I'm on day 32 of the app. I downloaded it at the end of my worst migraine ever and was just like, I need a solution for this, and I don't care what it costs. I think I got a deal on it, and it was like $19 for the first month. I think there was like a trial period. I don't know if I'm going to continue with it or not. I will tell you that those first 4 weeks were extremely helpful, and now I'm into the next week, and it's been mostly habit-based, which is helpful. They do give you a lot of downloads and a lot of information with it, and I'm not saying download Leaply and get rid of your migraine. So stay tuned. I'm not recommending anything. I'm just saying so far that's one of the things that I have done. I do the chair yoga exercises. I'm on day 79 of just doing a little daily activity. I also do the kind of warm up things in the morning for my lymph drain to kind of like get things going. I feel like I'm less puffy overall, and I feel like that's helping with the TMJ, the earaches, the migraine, all of that seems to be working together. I'm also very aware of what's going on with my jaw and when I'm clenching. A lot of times I'm putting my tongue in the roof of my mouth to kind of relax that jaw and not clench. I actually have very almost misshapen muscles around my jaw from the stress of grinding, and I've been doing that since as long as I can remember, because it's how I hold my tension. It's how I kind of, the expression biting your tongue. I think that there's a lot to that. Biting your tongue is not talking, but it's also it's a tension that you put in your body, in your jaw, your neck, your shoulders, all of this. Your face, your neck, your shoulders holds so much tension. And the other place that you really hold tension is your hips and like your lower back, your whole pelvis. Just, you hold so much tension there. And so I'm trying to learn. I'm not educated in all of this. I'm learning little by little. I'm trying to sort out the facts. I'm trying to sort out like the who actually helps me and then who's making like the crazy claims. And sometimes I will follow a channel on either Instagram or TikTok, and I will start to kind of like, look into the advice that they're giving on the channel. And some things are helpful, some things are not. And then it will end up being that it's all AI generated. It's loosely based in fact, but the people that are talking to you, the results that they're showing you, they're not real results. If you look at the fine print, as more laws come into play in different countries, on different sites, as people are implementing different plans, they are letting you know what's AI and what isn't. And a lot of times it'll tell you that it's an AI generated story. So it's not even based on like a scenario that was real. It's not like, Susie 42 did this workout for 20 days and this is the result that she got, because she's not real. she never existed, and I don't even know if she's based on somebody who's real, but I do know that like they're saying that the story, the results, the trainers on the app, they're not real trainers, they're AI trainers. So it's funny because like I feel like it's hitting every area of our life now. With, if it's not the adult industry, like you don't know if you're talking to a real person, or social media, or even like in the world of health and exercise. It used to be that, you know, like somebody was a doctor but they weren't a real doctor, but they were pretending to be an expert but they didn't have a degree, and there were disclaimers and things like that. And now it's becoming so hard to tell if someone's real, if their education is real, if the whole, you know, is, can we trust anything that's coming out of their mouth? And the other thing is, do they have to be educated to know from their own experience? Like, how much is it worth to listen to somebody who has firsthand experience with something? Because a lot of the things that I've learned in life weren't necessarily from the experts. Like when you're a new mom, you might get some tips from your pediatrician, but a lot of times you're getting them from your mom, your grandmother, your sisters, your friends, you know, people that have had babies before you. You're learning how to take care of them from them, you know, not from your pediatrician. Pediatricians will say some people do this, some people do that, but there's a liability there. There's a, you know, and you can't always trust everything that you hear, and you've got to do the research for yourself, and you've got to try things, and we try and we fail. So I'm not ready to say that the Leaply app took away my migraines. This is all I know. I've made some changes. So with the migraines not happening, I'm not taking the Benadryl, which can be very drying and can cause a lot of, you know, like it'll dry up your sinuses, but it can also cause a lot of issues there. So I'm not saying that me just stopping Benadryl may be not, you know, contributing to me staying migraine free, because I was taking them for migraines, but I don't know if that's, I was also taking them for occasional sleep issues. I have gone 3 months without a period at this point, and that's the first period I've skipped in forever. And I think I'm entering menopause, but you have to go a full year before you can actually count it. So I don't know if entering into that phase in life, kind of going from perimenopause and going into menopause, is maybe taking away the migraines. I'm not sure. I know this is an awful lot of information for a video that doesn't really say a whole lot, but if you are suffering from migraines, whether you're male or female, I would say look at the type of migraine that you're having and then rule a few things out. I would make sure that you know, have an idea of how much caffeine that you're taking in. If you're taking in a lot of salt or not any salt, because I would imagine that hypertension would play a role in it. So I would be checking like blood pressure, I would be checking your hydration. I would be making sure that fiber was part of your life and probiotics, and that your system was functioning regularly. I've got the Cologuard test. I made sure that everything was functioning. I try to do probiotics, and I also try to get plenty of fiber from fruits and vegetables and other sources, flaxseed, chia seeds, things like that. It's all going to play a factor in your migraines. It's going to be your hydration, your nervous system. It's going to be your overall tension, how you deal with stress, your breathing. A lot of times when we breathe, if we're not breathing correctly, we're breathing all up here, and it's making all of those muscles really tight, and that's affecting our jaw. So I don't know exactly what it is. And also the lymph system, if it's not draining properly, it's going to be backing up. You're going to have a puffier face. You're going to have more jaw pain. You're going to have earaches. You're going to have all of that stuff going on. Sore neck and, you know, sore lower back and not being able to open up your hips and, you know, lots of things. So if you have a migraine, I would start with looking at your diet. looking at your sleep patterns, looking at how you relax. You might want to look into something like the Leaply app. You might want to try to rule a few other things out first. I would rule out too any vision problems that you might have. If you had a recent eye appointment, can you see okay? Are you using the computer too much? Do you use blue light glasses? I mean, there's a lot of things to consider, and I certainly don't know anything beyond my own experience of I've tried a lot of things to try to get rid of the migraines, and I'm finding things that are working, and I'm going to keep going with it, and I will keep you guys updated. But it has been an ongoing journey, and I'm self-employed now, so when I lose 3 days to a migraine, that means I'm not filming. And if I don't have anything in the vault, I'm going back into the vault to get old stuff, or I'm, getting behind on customs. I'm not able to communicate with my subscribers as much and answer their messages on a daily basis. So it's affecting me financially, it's affecting me physically, it's affecting all of my relationships when I have to cancel on things because my migraines get so bad. It affects how much I'm able to help my sister, because a lot of times I will put in the time with my dad. I will do what I have to do, but then I will be in bed for 3 days. And, my visits will not be as long if I have a migraine. So, it affects the quality of everything in your life. So migraines really suck. And I don't know the answer for your migraines, but I would encourage you to keep trying to find solutions. Because honestly, it's one of those things that really has such a big impact on your life. And one of the things that's difficult about it is it's not visible. It's not like you're having a hard time breathing. It's not like you have a broken leg. It's not a physical manifestation. You're not wasting away. You look, somewhat healthy overall. No one can see the kind of pain that you're in. It's very deceptive. You show up someplace and everyone thinks you're fine, but really you're suffering. It's bad, but there's no way to communicate that. There's no way to really show that. You're not coughing your head off. You don't keep a fever. You don't have, you know what I mean? It's challenging. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough, and I'm going to go out to my dad's. I've got to stop at the grocery store. I've got my typical Wednesday routine, and then I'm hoping to come back here and get a lot of work done. I did film a video this morning already for my other channel, some promotional stuff for the morning videos, and I hope a bunch of stuff I need to do this afternoon, including a custom for a dear subscriber, one of my favorites. And so I'm looking forward to that. And I didn't do it yesterday because I wasn't feeling great, and I really want quality, because I value your response to my work, and I value the money that you're paying me to do my work. So I want to do the best job I can do. Anyway, I appreciate you so much. I love you guys. I hope you're not suffering from migraines, but if you are, let me know what works. Let me know what doesn't work. The other thing that I'm battling right now with the menopause is sleep issues, and I've gotten a little bit of feedback on sleep things, and I'll be doing more videos on that, what works, what doesn't, and I just look forward to having this conversation with you and having you be part of my little community on here, because I value you, I love you, and I hope you're having an amazing day. Take care, guys.